Hey guys, it's Master Troll here, and this is my face. So for those that are unfamiliar, I've been doing a lot of videos, but I haven't really shown who I am. So today I wanted to really, for you to get to know me, and for me to get to know you. And what I really wanted to do was talk about who's your favorite Ninja Turtle. So my favorite Ninja Turtle is Leonardo, and based on the Super 7 TMNT reveals, I thought, you know what? Wow, these are going to be amazing. I can't wait to see Leonardo in this line. However, for those that are still kind of waiting to see whether or not you want to buy them, like, I understand. If you take a look at the price point, based on the different lines that Super 7 has made, I think they're probably in the $45 to $50 range. But without actually seeing the pre-order, I can't say for certain what the prices are. However, what I want to really do is do a comparison between that Leonardo, the one that will eventually be revealed, and the other Leonardos that existed before that. So basically the ones from NECA, SH FIGUARTS, and also the Playmates Classic version, and also Playmates Classic Collection
Alright guys,
version.
let's do a comparison of the different Leonardos. First off, we have the Playmates Leonardo. This is the original design released by Playmates as part of the release of the 1987 cartoon. And what I have here is the 25th anniversary re-release. And what I like about this figure is not only does it have this original design, its articulation is okay, but I found that it looks a lot like the Mirage version with the Fred Wolf version combined. Basically, it was the best of both worlds because they weren't sure where they were going with the cartoon and the comics were still running, so I imagine that they wanted to have a bit of both so people would be attracted to these figures regardless of whether or not they read the comics or watched the TV show, but most likely watched the TV show. And it had that really big grin on one side that I found was really cool, although now looking at it, I wish that it had a more generic face or had a multiple head. This is what I'm hoping that Super 7 will do. They'll release a Leonardo that's based on this figure, but it'll give him some multiple heads. So basically, I want like one where it doesn't have any teeth showing, one that has the teeth showing just to give off this look. And basically, I want to have this crisscross belt because it gives me nostalgia for the Archie version of this Leonardo. And I really found that I don't really like the belt buckle, but the belt buckle is something that came with this toy, and it was just a black piece of plastic with the yellow letter L. Now, Playmates had an opportunity to make a cartoon accurate turtle. So let's move on to the next one. Let's do the Playmates Classic Collection Leonardo. Now, for this figure, I found that it sits in about the 7-inch scale, while the original Playmate sits around the 5-inch scale, maybe 4.5 inches. For this new release, though, I didn't like the fact that while they've changed the belt to be brown, they did not change the belt buckle. It's actually the same black with yellow lettering on it, which I really don't like. So what I did was I repainted it to look more cartoon accurate. Although in general, I really do like the color and the paint applications. In terms of the swords, they were also bright blue in terms of the handle, so I repainted those to gray to give it a more subdued look, even though I know that they're supposed to be brown. I actually really like the way that this figure looks, not only because there's a lot of articulation, but also because it has a really good amount of articulation. You can see that the toes, the fingers all have articulation. You can swivel certain parts. You can do action pose. It came with an action base. In general, I really like this figure, even though I know there's better alternatives and a lot of people give this hate. Although what I found is maybe they should have done without the one-sided belt that becomes a sword hilt. That is okay, and it's not a deal breaker, but what less accurate. And also, I realized that this is actually based on the international version of the art, not based off the cartoon. This is more like the mugs, the T-shirts. You can see that Leonardo has this bright green on it. Overall, I like this figure. The price point was actually very good. It was $20 where I am. I'm in Canada, and it was a pretty good buy. Sorry, $25, depending on where you go. However, in recent years, we've gotten some really high quality figures, and the next turtle that we're going to talk about is the NECA Leonardo. Now, of course, this Leonardo is the most cartoon accurate that I've seen ever, because not only does it share the proper colors, it has some two-toning happening. If you look at the different blues on this Leonardo, you can see that there's a sky blue, there's a dark blue. His shell, his articulation is very good. Not only does his weapons look very cartoon accurate, it comes in a little bit curved as well. I found that, with NECA, they create really good toys at a really good price. So, NECA is the one to beat in terms of where you want to compare it with Super 7. And I really like the fact that this belt buckle is cartoon accurate. Not only does it have like this silver with a gray L, I think this is actually a more whitish, more dull color, which I think is really good. It gives me that cartoon look that I've been craving for a long time, and has very clean lines. And it definitely has a few shades of green in there, like two shades, one for the overall color and one for more like a shadowed color. I really appreciate the work that NECA has done on these. Finally, we have the SH FIGUARTS, one of the more expensive figures, and probably the one to compare based on the price point, because when these came out, these were close to $50 in USD and $80 in Canadian. And I found that, in terms of the overall quality, this one and the neck one sits at about the 6-inch figure line, probably maybe 5 to 6 inches. You can see that this figure is well crafted. There's a lot of articulation as well. There's a lot of different accessories. For example, it comes with some other heads. It comes with some of the turtle comp stuff, which I think Super 7 is also doing. It also comes with a perfectly done belt buckle, and this one is a shiny silver belt buckle with the, I guess, a less shiny L, and I actually really do like it. If you look at this Leonardo and you think of, why does this one's color look very different from the naked version? This is because this is the international style. Basically, this is the one where it's the approved version of Leonardo that they can use in terms of design. Also, with this one, you can feel that if you've ever held this figure, it is actually a bit heavier than the other ones. You can definitely feel that it's very solid, it can stand very well, and would fit with all your other SH FIGUARTS. So that's also another advantage. I think it scales well with those other kinds of figures. And in general, I found that this, even though that this is more expensive, I think it was really worth it for me because it has all these accessories. Although I think Super 7 is going to blow these ones out of the water easily. And, one more kind of tidbit is that this one looks like the one from the TMNT anime. So the anime was a Japan-only exclusive, and of course, people are aware because of YouTube, because of fan subbing. But in general, this looks like that Leonardo, a more brightly colored one with a really good shiny belt, and he turns into the Super Turtles, and of course we saw those as a different line, and that's an opportunity for me to do a video on that history later. But in general, out of these four, I think my favorite one has to be the Playmates version classic collection. Not that that's a popular opinion, because I know it's definitely most people like the SH FIGUARTS version or the NECA version better because of their accuracy and the articulation, but I think the Playmates classic collection one is the best bang for your buck. One, it has all the great articulation. Two, it has really good colors, more like the international version. And then three, in general, I think he looks good in the scale of figures that I collect. So I collect a lot of 7-inch figures for my Marvel, my DC, so I think he fits in very well there. That's why I like him so much. In general, the other figures don't really fit with my other collections, but I like them because I collect turtles in general. So I hope you enjoyed this comparison video. Thank you so much for listening in. Hopefully this gives me an opportunity to do other comparison videos. This is Master Troll signing out. Take care. Let me know who your favorite turtle is down below. Thanks.